This is my New York recital debut, and we have a duo program, violin-piano, with Argentine composers. I was born and raised in Germany. However, both my parents are from Latin America, from Peru and Uruguay.
Hello everybody, my name is Emmanuel Gradumat. I'm the owner of WMP Concert Hall, and I'm also a violin maker and a violin expert. People ask me often, why are Stradivarius so expensive? And you know, most musical instruments, the best pianos, the best flute, whether they're made in gold or crystal, are not a tenth of the price of this wooden violin. And the reason, obviously, is because of Antonio Stradivari, because of his name, his reputation, and because he made the best instrument of his time. And his time was the golden period of violin making in Italy. I'm so happy you're here and you played at WMP.
Yeah, thank you.
Especially to play on a violin made by Stradivari.
Yeah, it's a wonderful violin, yeah.
Well, you made great music with it. I mean, it was really amazing. Playing with that public every week, all the time. So I'm very attuned to how the public is sensitive to a player like you. And after the concert, it was really amazing how they totally understood that not only you are a very professional, very solid, strong player, but that you were really taking seriously the relationship with the violin and the relationship through the violin of the music to the public, and they loved it.
My latest teacher was Günther Bichler, and with him I studied for 6 years in Vienna. Of course, his quartet is world famous, the Alban Berg Quartet. I went to their concerts, but having the experience of working with him for 6 years as a student, learning from him, sometimes I have this image of him playing, of him demanding something from me musically, and that kind of motivates me. Gustavo Beytelmann, I met him in London for the first time in about 2 years ago, and somehow we stayed in touch. I asked him if I could contact him when I come to Paris, because I already knew of his reputation. He's known as a really very good and very well-known tango composer in Europe or in the world, really. And when finally I did go to Paris, because I wanted to live there, I also had at the same time a concert offer to play in Germany for Gloria von Thurn und Taxis, she organized a benefit concert in Regensburg at her castle. And there again I had a free choice of repertoire, free choice as usual of musician with whom I can play. And I asked Gustavo, and he said yes, he would play with me, and I learned his pieces, and that's how I got not only the chance to meet him, but to play with him his own pieces for violin and piano, which is of course a very, very exciting experience.
This young Oscar Bohorquez is, first of all, is an amazing violinist. But what touched me is his sense of phrase, his capacity of expressing. Nowadays I think there are a lot of people that can move fingers and arms in the right sense. Music still is not only that. So, well, what I'm telling you about this young violinist goes out of what you can study. You have it or not. You have the capacity of expressing. You have the intelligence for phrasing. You have this intensity to live music, yes or not. I think Bohorquez has it. And I am proud that he plays my music.
My mother, she's a pianist, and she organized a tango event, music played by violin and piano, and dancers dancing to our music. So I played, and it was the first time I got to see tango dancing up close, already in rehearsals. And so I got to know these dancers, and I asked them to teach me something. That was like the first tango lesson, so to speak.
I have since 2 years an idea to write a kind of violin concerto for this instrument and for a wind orchestra. So, well, I need to have time, but I have these ideas. The ideas I have. I need only a few months to write it.
I love Ginastera, and I was a close friend of Aurora. Ginastera was amazing woman.
Her widow of Alberto Ginastera. Yes.
Yes, his last widow. I don't know if he had. I mean, it went the other way around, because the first time I met her, she told me, "Oh, Emmanuel, I had 4 husbands. I never got divorced, and I never killed any of them." So it's like, okay, Aurora, very nice. Now I'm safe. And all along, she kept her hand on my leg. So I thought, okay, that's nice. I like this woman. It's just good. And over 80 years old.
I had a chance to look at the Guadagnini
Yes.
that I play. This.
Well,
what would you say? What is the characteristics of this one? Because I told you
this is a fantastic violin. I mean, I'm a great fan of Guadagnini,
Yeah.
and Guadagnini had different periods, like Stradivari, but traveled in different cities, and Stradivari was a rich man. Guadagnini was not, but was probably one of the best makers of his time, not only in making but in restoration. He took care of the instrument of Stradivari that the Count Cozio di Salabu had in his collection, and from there was very influenced by Stradivari. So how does it feel to play on the Stradivari, even though you haven't been with that violin for a very long time, and to play on your own violin, which is a JB Giovanni Battista Guadagnini?
it's like having 2 great masterpieces in front of you, but they just, of course, use different colors, but they're both equally, great. So Stradivari, when I hear it up close, has a really very, very warm sound, and so does the Guadagnini. Only the Guadagnini has a slightly brighter sound, I think.
Yes.
It was so interesting now to me to play on a Stradivarius, which is such a round and warm sound, even in the higher register. By the way, Marianne, these are Argentinian tango shoes. So today everything is about Argentina.
Even the shoes, huh?
Even this I bought
Beautiful.
in Buenos Aires.
Ooh.
The tango pants.
Oh, the shirt is actually everything is Argentinian. Because I borrowed this from Pablo, he gave me the shirt. So Pablo, I'm all dressed Argentinian. The shoes are from Buenos Aires. This is from Buenos Aires, and this is from Argentina.
That's my favorite shirt.
That's your favorite
I
shirt?
gave it up for him. I want this to be filmed.
you.